Hello, Dull Bedsit Blogger here, and you may have seen in my 24 in 24 Rube Goldberg video that I had quite a few canvases. Well, I got a whole crate of them for an art project that I've been putting off and putting off and putting off and putting off for a long time, which involves this book, Naked Lunch by William Burroughs. And I had this idea which involves doing canvases and cutting the book up, and in theory that sounds great. You know, that's kind of how William Burroughs used to write some of the parts of his books, where he'd write stuff, then cut it up and just see how he could rearrange the words and in a cut and paste style. And I was thinking, oh, it'd be quite good just to cut the whole book up into its individual words and randomly stick them down, and you know, before I'd know it, I'd have I could stick them on the canvas and do stuff like that. But when it came down to it, I just couldn't do it. I was finding it really difficult. So I thought, right, stop pussying about and get on with it. It's the beginning of art. Sometimes art can be painful, and you know, that was surprisingly painful. The first cut is the deepest. I got a bit more skin to cut through. I've got as far as this. This is all I've got, so I'm going to make some more. I've got a bunch of the words from the book, and I'm going to have to stick them on these. And I might add some watercolour, I'm not sure. I'm kind of a bit lost with this. It was a bigger, more difficult project than I thought. Initially I thought, oh, it'd be really interesting to cut up a book and use it in art, but the actual act of cutting up a book I've found very difficult. Very difficult. First of all, the book the version I was going to cut up, I couldn't cut up. I found it too difficult, and a friend of mine had a more ragged version, which he's given me to cut up. So I've only, you know, I haven't done cut up very much of it, but I do plan to finish the whole book and make lots of collages and paintings using the words. And eventually, when it's finished, I'd like to display them all at once in an exhibition, which kind of goes against part of my things. I don't really like galleries. I often feel that galleries are art zoos, and the art isn't allowed to breathe and live as it should. Art should be free and in the street. But then, you know, that's the graffiti writer in me. Anyway, I better stop putting this off, and I'm going to try and make 3 of these, so I've got a nice little triptych. So a day and a half later, the triptych is done as far as sticking the words on. I'm going to add some watercolour paint, and I think I'm going to find a frame to stick these into. Gets more and more complicated as I do it. And I've added some watercolour, and I've got this frame from a charity shop. I'm going to paint the background a different colour and then mount them on that, and then it's all done. So here we have it, the finished article. 3 panels of cut out words from Naked Lunch by William Burroughs. This is just the start of the project. I'm quite glad to have kind of got it started. I'm not quite sure how many canvases there will be. There might be some sculptures as well, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, it's the beginning of something. I'm not quite sure what to call the project. I've got various ideas, but I'm keeping them under my hat.